Thanks for tuning in to Healthy Planet One, where we discuss healthy living from experts in each of their fields. This is your host, Patricia Starr.
And your co-host, Kimberly Knox.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Healthy Planet One. We are delighted today to have KYLER Pentecost with us, who is a member of the family that owns It Works Global, a direct selling company that has done billions of dollars in sales since it was founded in 2001. So, KYLER, welcome. We're excited to talk to you today about pursuing your dreams.
Wonderful. I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Well, and one of the things that Kimberly said, that you have such a great uplifting way of being, of presenting and talking to people. And so in this way, when we talked about pursuing your dreams and, kind of who you are as a entrepreneur and what you've done for people and your stand for people, that they own their own time through simple business and they become who they want to be. We want to hear all about that so people can get inspired that are listening as well. So tell us a little bit about how it started and what got you motivated and going.
Yes, well, It Works Global as a company. Like you said, my family owns It Works Global, so I've been around since the beginning. And everything started around the fact that we were a family that couldn't get ahead. My father was the type of father that was reading every possible business book. He had some good mentors teaching him how to dive into real estate, how to do different investments. And he was a teacher and a coach in high school that we could not get ahead. And, one of the number one causes of divorce is finances and difficulty in finances. And we were part of that statistic and in terms of just not being able to get ahead. And so we found a company that helped people start up businesses on a platform that hit a trend that allowed them to be profitable from the very beginning. And so It Works really was founded around a special product called the It Works Skinny Wrap and hydrating facials. And essentially someone would put a wrap on, wait 45 minutes, and you could take a picture before and after and see very noticeable tightening, toning, firming results that left you going, okay, I need more of this. This has to be a part of my life. And so when we mix the ability for people to start their own business and use a product that can transform people and pair it with a great natural nutritional line that could help people get long-term results, It Works became just a rock star company in the industry.
So, KYLER, let me ask you something, going back to, casting about to what could really get you out of this kind of stuck place that the family was in. I just, in my head, I need to put together how an athletic coach went from that into the body wrap. How did you find that? That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, it started, it's so funny because I just remember hearing my parents fighting over finances as a child. Uh-huh. And their biggest prayer was, bring us away. My dad would take on extra jobs, extra things just to be able to pay off our credit cards every year. And then we would start accumulating debt again. Mm-hmm. And so my father's dad, I love that it came from my grandpa. He actually came with a long distance business opportunity. And he said, there is a way for you to help people save money on their long distance phone bill, which at the time we didn't have cell phones and long distance was very expensive.
Right.
And so, so he said, you can help everyone save on long distance. And at the same time, every time you do that, you're going to get a percentage from every minute that they're on the phone. And so he said, I really want you to help me market this. And my father said no 3 different times. And so I think when you say, how did a coach get here? My grandpa on one of the calls basically said, I'm your father, you're doing this, and you're going to trust me. And that was the yes moment that that led to us understanding the power of a business model that, you know, if you're not in business, you don't need to learn about what product is going to be able to be super profitable. You don't need to learn about how to market, how to ship things, how to get, you know, all this stuff together. You just need to be able to share something that, you know, can really save and help people. And so the wrap came into our lives because, you know, when the world of long distance transformed almost overnight, when you think about it, into cell phones,
Yeah.
you know, that was no longer a viable business model. And people knew my father's reputation. He knew that at the moment that was going down, he wasn't one of the people holding the flag saying, no, you can still make money here. And so people reached out to him that had found this and said, we want to start a company. And so that was, you know, there's a long story to the birthing of It Works, but that was the beginning of, you know, what led to It Works Global. And, you know, there were a few mergers and things that brought in great nutritionals that really helped alkalize, detox, work hand in hand with a wrap. But that's kind of how the story began. And I feel like the cool thing about the CEO, Mark Pentecost, being from that background is everyone at It Works understands what it's like to have to make a change in your life and to take in something new that you probably would never have said yes to, except for the fact that you need to say yes to something because something has to change. And it's our job, you know, as It Works Global, to make sure that It Works is creating a profitable scenario for everyone that joins and is able to share that with friends to change lives.
Well, and you were in at the beginning, and I know, you know, you've put several miles under those feet, right? Getting it happening.
That's right.
Do you want to share a little bit about the growth and how it evolved?
Yeah, yes, I would love that. You know, it's very interesting. My journey is very different than others' journeys in that I was very young when it started. And I worked in the shipping room, I worked in customer service, but I was very stuck in the traditional way of success. The world tells us, go to college, get your degree, then find that nice job, and you will be able to climb the ranks. And I did all the things. I was in the top tier of every school I've ever been to. I actually moved from Michigan to Washington, D.C. to be working at a law firm. And I was about to begin my legal career at a law school and take on $200,000 to $300,000 in debt. And, you know, the economy was crashing, but I also was realizing how unhappy I was trying to pursue this path that really wasn't very successful or lucrative to anyone who was pursuing it. And people who were in these professional careers, they didn't seem very happy or connected to whatever that dream was they really wanted. And so I was what I call stuck out in Washington, D.C., and I had my own little awakening moment. I watched the movie Eat, Pray, Love, and I remember just thinking,
I love that
I'm the
movie.
guy who's
It's great.
It's the best movie. And, you know, the cool thing about that movie is it's all about, you know, you go down this path in life, and you've gone so far down this path that you don't know how to change paths, but you're so unsatisfied. It's just so clear that this could not be the life that you were meant to live. And I was there. That was my story. And when I started in as a distributor for It Works, I really felt that I wasn't a people person. I had a lot of labels on myself. And this was such a self-development journey for myself that I transformed. I mean, this has helped me find myself as a person. I found my faith. I found so many valuable assets inside of myself that I never knew were just waiting to be unlocked. And the community in a company like this is people who want other people to do well. And so I was surrounded with other successful people who are constantly mentoring me, coaching me, saying, read this book, do this thing. And it's just amazing how that's an atmosphere for growth. And so, you know, I think you fall in love with being able to share things that change people's lives. And then you also fall in love with becoming a person who's standing in your own power.
Wow, that is a powerful, powerful story, KYLER. It's when you say it just sounds like this business model gave you that that really ability to grow yourself and really start to connect with other people. A lot of people have trouble doing that. Do you find that's the case in you mentoring other people to take on and pursue their dreams? Give us an example of some of the challenges you have in that arena.
Well, and everyone is in different places in their life. You know, some people, I always say, I have a sister, you know, Cammie, and Cammie was the child who was doing cartwheels in front of the video cameras and, you know, was the star of the spotlight. And meanwhile, you know, I was sitting at a cubicle in a law firm on a corner desk thinking, I don't want to say hello to anyone that passes by because I just was not extroverted in that way. And yet I find the world labels us. I was fully identifying as an introvert and as someone who doesn't naturally, you know, make new friends or connect with new people. And what I found in my journey was that actually hidden deep inside of a lot of labels was someone who had a lot of insecurity, someone who had a lot of fear, someone who had a lot of barriers between the person that was truly inside dying to get out and the person, you know, that I was showing up as every day. And so I had a unique mentor in my life that said, you know, let's think about the fact that, you know, you could walk in a room and transform that room in any way, shape, or form you want to. Let's write down the traits of a person that you know would transform a room in the way that would really speak to you. And so I wrote down all of those traits, and at the end of it, they said, you know, anything that would keep you from stepping into this is some form of brokenness or some form of insecurity or some form of fear, because inside of your heart, this is something you respect the most when someone shows up in a room. And they gave me permission to begin my journey on, I'm going to show up into every room with confidence, with excitement, with influence, you know, with charisma, as someone who already is successful. And it's just interesting, you know, when I first started showing up in rooms, you know, I'd get my list out and I'd say, if anyone in this room is going to grow today, if anyone's going to make a change in their life, I have to walk in as this person that I so desire to be. And I would have pep talks even in front of the mirror, and just I would say to myself, you are enough. You can do this. You know, even if for this one moment you've only got 30 minutes of being able to show up like this, you're going to do it. And the more that I practiced, it's amazing how I transformed. And yet it did take facing my fear of even walking in as a confident person.
Yeah. And that took some
me.
practice, and it took some work, right?
Yeah. And for me, it took a lot of guts. You know, I just had to, had to grit it out, and I had to have pep talks. And the nice thing is you get a lot of positive affirmation as you do it, because you're stepping into an identity that you truly have in your heart for yourself. And so, you know, things begin to unfold in your life as you do that just totally reaffirm you. And it takes away those negative, you know, things that are associated with that. And it turns it into positive, and you grow.
So let me ask you for our listeners, KYLER, I hear the dedication, that you had, and to be able to do the pep talks. Give us an idea of how much of that work, and was there a turning point? Was there a flip that happened for you that has you, or, you know, what was that now that you are who you are? Because we can hear the excitement in your voice, and you're alive, KYLER. So where was that flip? Because you weren't there when you were in that corner office, right?
That's right. You know, I wasn't. And for me, I've labeled this, you guys can take this